Hello, my beautiful soul tribe. It's Coach Jay here, and it is Mindfulness Monday. What I like to do on Mindfulness Monday is to talk about thought provoking topics that really make you think. Okay, so today's topic is going to be the importance of a parent's love. Okay, so this morning when I woke up, when I wake up in the morning, I don't like to jump out of bed. I kind of like to just lay there and to meditate. I can either recall a dream that I had, or I'll just lay there and I'll just talk to God and just say, hey, God, just what should I do today? I'm very big on making sure that my steps are ordered. I'm very big on living intentionally. So that's something that I do. I knew that today was Monday and I knew that I wanted to post a video. And so I was asking, what should I talk about? You know? I ended up picking up my phone and I was scrolling through Instagram and I stumbled upon this video of Erykah Badu and one of her baby daddies. And they were doing a video together where they were giving a tribute to their daughter who had just turned 16. And they were so cute together. Ugh. But they were together just reminiscing on just the birth of their child on that day, the time that she was born, the way that she came out. They were reminiscing on the type of child that she was and how she's such a good child. And it was just beautiful to see a couple, even if they're not together, but just a mother and father together, just doting on their daughter. And I couldn't help but think how important that is for the development of a child. So this message is for you parents currently, or those of you who want to be parents. This message is for you guys. The love that you have for your child is essential to their evolution. It's essential to their growth. It's essential to their makeup. Children are sponges, so they soak everything in. Not only do they soak everything in at such young ages, but they also remember everything. So the amount of love that you give, the lack of love that you don't give, affects the growth of your child. These children become adults. They become adults that probably would become entitled, self-absorbed, sometimes even narcissistic, where they can be very controlling. This is the thing that you have to understand, that as a child, if you are the type of child that did not come from a loving home, that does not stop the need, that innate desire to be loved. So you will go through great lengths to try to receive this type of love. And that's also where a lot of narcissism is birthed from probably not receiving the love that you needed. And so now you develop this grandiose, persona where now you're expecting it from people, right? You paint this grand picture of who you are, and now you walk around entitled and controlling and expecting people to treat you in a certain way because it's something that you didn't have growing up. But it was such a beautiful thing to see the mother and the father equally just doting over their child. And so my message is for the child or the adult that did not have this growing up. My message also is for the adult that has children that you are currently raising. And I want you to understand the importance of instilling love. Just like a plant needs water and sunlight to grow, for it to be healthy, for it to blossom, love is just as necessary. You can't just feed your child. You can't just clothe your child. You can't just give them shelter and say, well, I did the best that I could. That should be enough. You also need to give your child love, right? And when I say love, what does that look like? There's so many different variations and different levels and different types of love. And all of them are necessary. It could be giving a hug. I have a son who he needs hugs, and I have no problem giving them. And I'll probably get 3 to 4 hugs a day. He'll knock on my door, or he'll see me in the kitchen and he'll just come behind me and give me a hug, or he'll say, Mommy, I need my hug. And I willingly give this to him because I know it's something that he needs. It's something that we all need. I mean, think about it as a couple, right? Don't you cuddle your spouse, right? Or your significant other when you go to bed? Like, you need the connection, you need that energy exchange, because it actually does something to you, right? So I welcome the hugs from my son. As parents, it's important that not only do we give physical touch, but we also give time, right? We take the time to spend time with our child. Maybe they painted a picture, or maybe they created a song, or maybe they are on this hard level on their video game, and they want you to watch them past this level. Validating their wants, validating their needs, validating their opinions, right? Validating their feelings. These are all aspects of love, right? And this means there are times when, as a parent, you may not want to have to sit down and watch them do whatever it is that they're doing, right? But sacrificing that time and letting your child know that they are important is valuable to their upbringing, because we are creating the foundation of who they are. Okay. A lot of my clients that come to me are women who are broken, women who struggle with their self-esteem, not feeling validated, not feeling worthy, not feeling enough, not being their own self-advocates, not even feeling as if they're lovable, right? These are the people that come to me, and it all stems from their upbringing. When I talk to a lot of my clients, I like to go back into time. I like to go into what their household was like, what their child life was like, right? Their childhood. And a lot of the times you can connect the dots to how they are from their past and what they experienced. It's also very important, aside from making sure that we validate our children, that we also allow them to express themselves, right? That we listen to them, because children will become adults. They're people. Just because we raise them, just because we feed them, just because we house them, doesn't mean that their voice doesn't matter. Their opinions matter. And as parents, when we cultivate that, when we allow them to be heard, this allows them to be adults that are able to be advocates for themselves and speak up, and they will become adults that will know how to exercise the word no and be able to create boundaries, right? And be able to validate their own opinions and their own thoughts and their own suggestions. People that will be able to receive critiques and not fall apart because someone may not agree with their mindset or agree with something that they created, or, you know what I'm saying, agree with just their persona of just who they are. It's important that as parents that we cultivate that. It's important that as parents that we instill that, yes, you are enough. Yes, you are worthy. Yes, I validate you. You are allowed to express yourself. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to feel. It's our job as parents that we do that. You know what I mean? Yes, it's important that we teach our children to be respectful, right? It's important that we teach our children to respect authority and to honor our elders and to honor our parents. That's also very important, because you don't want to create children that don't know how to, or don't respect authority, right? We want to make sure that we have that balance of, when they come to us, that they come to us with respect, but at the same time that they are able to express themselves and voice their opinions. And so this, at the end of the day, is why I do what I do. This is actually why I became a self-love coach, because I wanted to be a voice for those people who feel as if their voices aren't important, or that their feelings and even their experiences aren't validated, and I'm here to validate you, and I'm here to say that you are enough, and I'm here to say that you are worthy. And I'm calling you guys, you parents out there, I'm making you guys responsible for making sure that you love on your children. Your children will become adults, and your children will remember their childhood because it is what shapes them. Your children will remember how you made them feel. Sometimes it's not always about what you said, but your children will remember how you made them feel. And it's your responsibility to make sure that they feel loved. Right? That's where CPS comes in. Right? If you're not making sure that you're not doing your due diligence and making sure that your child is taken care of, they come in and they assess the situation, and they may take your child away. So that in itself lets you know that's very important, that not only do you feed them, that you house them, and that you clothe them, that you're making sure that you're instilling into them emotionally the importance of who they are. They are valuable. Their opinions mean the world, and that's important for you to make sure that, yes, I hear you. Listen to them when they speak, right? Look directly into their eyes. Let them know that they matter. They may be little mini me's, right? They may be little, but they matter. Even when they get older, their opinions matter, even if it differs from yours, right? You're not creating carbon copies of yourselves. Your job here is to guide, not to control, but to guide and to love and to validate. There are some kids that may not be as open. They may not be as extroverted. Maybe they're introverted. So maybe you would have to go to them and hug on them. I know that it's very old school for parents to feel as though a child has to come to them, right? To make them feel validated, to make them feel honorable. That a child has to come to them and say good morning. A child has to come to them and acknowledge them. But sometimes you may be dealing with a child that may be shy, that may be introverted, and it doesn't mean that they're being disrespectful, but maybe it's not easy for them to go to adults. It may not be easy to go to their grandparents, right? And so I feel that us as adults, us as elders, that we should go to their level and make them feel secure, make them feel like they matter, make them feel as if you're excited to see them. It's our responsibility to make them feel that they are worthy. And yes, there are children that do not come from those type of households, so it doesn't mean that they are a lost cause. My thing would be this: if you are if it was your experience of you coming from a household where there was no love, you have to be the change that you want to see. And if it's hard for you to give the love that you didn't have, seek help, seek therapy, find someone that you can talk to. Watch how other people are with their children. Learn. It's up to you to break that cycle. I hear stories about fathers who grew up in a fatherless household, and how they say stuff like, I don't know how to be a dad. They may have kids and not show up and say, well, my dad didn't show up for me. I don't know how to be a dad. And this is why I say that you have to be the change that you want to see. What was it that you didn't get from your father that you wanted? Give your son, give your daughter those things that you didn't have. And I'm not saying that it's easy. Take it day by day to be the best person that you can be. Take it day by day to be better than what the model was before you. You don't have an excuse, because you know what it felt like for there to be lack. You know what it felt like to not have your father go to your games, right? You know what it felt like to not have a father talk to you about things that were bothering you. You know what that feels like. So since you know what that feels like, lead with that. Lead with that. And say, you know what? I'm going to be better. I'm going to do different. So this is a challenge. from me to you as a parent, let's do better. Let's remind our children of how important they are, how valuable their voices are. And especially for you parents where you have children that may have differences of opinion, right? You may had expected your child to be a doctor or a lawyer, and you know what? They just want to be a painter. They just want to be a writer. They just want to be a singer. It's up to us to make sure that we validate their needs, their desires, that we support their gifts, right? The talents that they have, because I'm telling you, how we raise them greatly affects who they become as adults. When you grow up in a loveless household, it does not take away that desire for love. And so what I find with my clients, and even with what I struggled with growing up, was I tried so hard to get the love that I wanted. So I became a people pleaser. I became a yes man. I became I will go over and beyond to get you to like me, to get you to accept me. And in the interim, I was doing myself a disservice because I wasn't giving myself what I liked. I didn't know how to create boundaries. I didn't know anything about self-preservation. I didn't know how to say no because I was so caught up in hurting someone's feelings. And I felt like if I hurt someone's feelings, then they are no longer wanting to speak to me or wanting to be in my space, wanting to be in my world, wanting to have anything to do with me. And so what I implore you guys, for those of you who do struggle with that, love on yourself. Give yourself what it was that maybe your parents couldn't give you, or maybe a significant other, a friend couldn't give you. You are responsible for your happiness. You alone. You're responsible for that. You are responsible for your evolution and for your growth, but you have to be at a place where you're ready for that. And when you are ready for growth, when you are ready for change, guess what? People are going to start disappearing. That's just part of the process. But what's going to be important is making sure that you are happy, that you are doing what it is that makes you come alive. That weighs more important than the quantity of people around you. You have to make sure that you are doing things for you. So I implore you parents to make sure that you are loving on your children, that you are giving them the water, that you're giving them the sunlight that they need to be healthy adults. Okay, so that's something that I wanted you guys to just meditate on. It's something that I was thinking about throughout the day. It is a beautiful sunny Monday. I love the sun. It just makes me feel, that's why I'm smiling, because it just, I don't know, just something about this vitamin D hitting my skin. It just invigorates me. But I'm hoping that you guys can take this message that I'm telling you guys and really, really sit with it, and let's become better. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help remind myself and to encourage you guys to just be our best selves.